Jason had always dreamed of owning his own home, and in late 2006, at the age of 30, that dream became a reality. He and his older boyfriend, Brian, moved into a grand 3,307 square foot, 6-bedroom house in Steelton, Pennsylvania. The house was old but full of character, and Jason was excited to make it his own. The first night after moving in, as Jason stood by the front window, he noticed a car parked out front with a rainbow cat decal on the trunk. Given the limited on-street parking, it was hard to tell which house the car belonged to, but Jason's curiosity was piqued. The next day, while surveying his new neighborhood, he spotted a gay pride sticker on the front door of the house next door. A small smile formed on his face. It was comforting to know that he had a neighbor who might understand him. Over time, Jason learned that his neighbor's name was Bob, an older gentleman who was both a writer and an avid book collector. Bob was warm and welcoming, and Jason found himself enjoying their occasional chats. Then one winter, Bob had to undergo open-heart surgery. Jason, having been raised to help others when he could, decided to step in. Whenever it snowed, he shoveled Bob's walkway without being asked. When the grass grew long, Jason mowed his lawn. Bob, appreciative of the help, offered to pay Jason, but Jason always refused. It wasn't about money, it was about doing the right thing. Their friendship grew stronger when Jason, knowing his way around computers, helped Bob with various tech issues. Bob was grateful for Jason's kindness, but not everyone saw it that way. Brian, Jason's boyfriend, began to grow jealous. The accusations started subtly, an offhand comment here, a suspicious glance there. But soon, Brian's paranoia escalated. He accused Jason of sleeping with Bob, despite the significant age difference and the purely platonic nature of their relationship. Jason was baffled. He had never given Brian any reason to suspect infidelity, and the idea of something happening with Bob, who was not only much older but also his next-door neighbor, was absurd. Yet Brian refused to let it go. His jealousy morphed into something more sinister. He became controlling, manipulative, and eventually outright abusive. Brian began opening credit cards in Jason's name, quietly building debt that Jason was unaware of. Their joint account, which was supposed to be used for household expenses, mysteriously never had enough money when Jason needed it. The mortgage, the car note, and every bill in Jason's name were left unpaid. Jason confronted Brian about the missing funds, but he was met with gaslighting and excuses. Then, one day, Brian simply moved out, leaving Jason with the wreckage. Jason was in shock. The bills kept coming in, revealing that nothing had been paid for months. Everything was so far behind that Jason had no choice but to move back in with family across the state, north of Pittsburgh. It was a devastating setback, but Jason refused to let it define him. Over time, Jason rebuilt his credit and, despite losing everything, managed to regain his independence. Through hard work and perseverance, he became successful again, saving a nest egg in his Robinhood account and eventually owning a home without a mortgage. Though the journey was long and painful, Jason found happiness in his newfound freedom, proud of the life he had built after losing everything. In the end, he had escaped the cycle of abuse and emerged stronger than ever.